you're not really linked to that as a vocalist. It's just something separate that you do as a separate piece of work.
So that must be great to actually teach somebody to sing, or coach them. I don't think you can teach them to sing. I think you can nurture them a little bit, is perhaps the right word. And that must be really good, because it's almost like giving back to the people who, the profession you've been very lucky to have a career in.
I think as a vocal coach, the joy is watching a student improve and seeing the smiles on their faces after they do something they never thought they could do. Just because I showed them a technique or gave them an exercise that made that happen, or be invited to one of their first shows. Again, they felt, that they would never have the guts to do, but because of coming to see me, they now felt confident enough to stand up in front of an audience and sing, And it's the same as a songwriter, really. Listen to something you've written, take on a new life when you're given to the band, having your songs accepted as something the band wants to perform. I mean, that's always a nice thing to happen. And as a singer, there's no better feeling than doing your job well and making the band and the audience happy, So all these things tie up, really. It's just having a joy of doing what you do, enjoying your job, and not just doing it because there's a paycheck at the end of the day. I think you lose sight sometimes.
I think there's a lot of people doing that. I don't know if this is correct. You're the vocal coach on the X Factor tour, is that right?
I'm the vocal coach on the live tour.
The live tour.
Vocal coach on the live tour for the past 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've probably come up with some real. We've probably seen some great acts come through your hands.
It's sometimes a bit fraught,
I bet it is.
Egos. But they're usually quite young and inexperienced, so they do perform at some, and they perform at some of the largest venues in the UK, which even to the most professionals do strange things to you anyway. I'm kind of very forgiving, and I'm usually very proud of them. I work them extremely hard and expect only 100% commitment, and to be fair, that's something they sometimes rebel against at first, but they kind of always thank you for it later, because they realise that you've got their best interests at heart. And it's not the fact, listen to what I can do, blah, blah, blah. It's they take on board what you say, and off they go. And then and what I like to see is that they take it on board, and then they go off and they mould it into their own version of it. That's the important part, that you don't just mimic what someone's telling you all the time. You go away and you use your own unique, bespoke way of thinking and put it into your own language, and that's the most pleasing part of it, seeing that happen.
So you're a hard but firm taskmaster.
Yeah, I think you have to be. I think you have to be with singing. It's a very short-lived industry, especially with the singers with the X Factor. And also I did Fame Academy as well when Lamar was on it as well. And he's perhaps I suppose my greatest success. But I mean, I didn't have an awful amount to do with his career. But we definitely polished some bits and pieces for him. But he was someone very early that went on to have a bigger career. I do see there's so many of them on the X Factor that they try really hard, and the industry love them for a certain amount of time, and then the show finishes, they go out to do this massive tour, and then the tour finishes, and it's just a matter of luck whether they've endeared themselves to the public and to the industry. Some of them do, some of them don't, and if they don't, then go away and do something else to your voice, because somebody liked you for a set amount of period of time for a little while. It's nothing to say that these people cannot come back and do it again. It's just that some of them get so downhearted they go, I'm going to go back and drive a van or work in a shoe shop. Well, then that says a lot to me that your spirit and your passion for what you do doesn't really exist.
But it's amazing
for the TV show.
Yeah. What amazes me is how voices can sort of develop. I mean, the classic one is recently Rick Astley's just brought a new album out, and he sounds like Gregory Porter.
Yeah, I did some work with Rick a little while ago. Actually,
Did you?
He was really, really good, and I kind of looked at him and just went, there's someone who's been working all his life, just because he's not been in the charts. He's still been working all his life. He's still done a few albums, and I think that when you reach a certain age in your life, you realise that Gregory Porter delivery, not just Gregory Porter, but that kind of delivery where you're underplaying everything. You're not into doing all your vocal gymnastics anymore. You don't have to impress anybody anymore. It's just the love of singing. I think that style really fits with a lot of older voices now.
Yeah. Well, Well, I listened to I heard the single initially on some radio station, and I could not believe it was Rick Astley. And I got the album a couple of weeks ago, and it went number one on the week of release, and I could not believe it was Rick Astley. Really, I mean, and I've not been a singer. Anybody who knows me knows that if you were ever my vocal coach, you'd probably be getting your pension by the time you sorted me out. It is bad, I tell you. Is there anybody you'd like to work or sing with?
Well, I'm working with the people I enjoy writing for and singing with at the moment.
There's nobody.
Yeah, I mean, on my sort of like my bucket list is Stevie Wonder. But these are just little things that you say. Oh, I'm a footballer. I'd like to meet and play football with Ronaldo or someone like that. So no, not really.
No?
There's plenty of people out there that I'm sure I'll try and infiltrate at some point, but at the moment I'm really, really happy as an artist and as a writer and performer that I'm with such a great bunch of musicians. There's no egos in this band, and it's very, very rare that you join a band and there are no egos.
No.
It's so much easier to go away on tour, sit in a bus, go on stage, know that you've got each other's backs, that kind of thing is really, really, really important to me.
And I think if you're a professional and the band have been going for a few years, this business of I'm the star has gone, hasn't it? I mean, I do some work with some bands. As people who know me well, I don't sing, I don't dance, and I don't play instruments, but I do some stage work, and I get to meet some of the bands, and they after they've been there for so many years, it's almost like a little marriage.
Yeah, I kind of think you're right there. I don't think ego is something that you take on the stage with you. You have to have an ego to perform on stage.
Yeah,
because
I think
you want people to like you and listen to you and applaud and all that stuff. Blah, 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 blah. I think the main problems with a lot of bands is that the ego comes off stage.
Yeah, and I think that's there's a little whispers in the ears, but let's not dwell on that. Away from the music business, what do you have a hobby or anything you like to do to relax?
No, I write and I sing and
that's it.
I coach. My life is totally consumed by music, really. Obviously, I enjoy my time with my grandchildren. The only time I can get to, I like doing a bit of gardening. We've got a lovely big garden that I like taking care of. But as the years go on, you start aching a little bit more, so you don't actually go in and do that quite as much.
Oh, I know the
looking
feeling.
at it at the moment, and it's going, come on, D-boy, get out there and sort me out. So, we've got a place abroad that we go out and spend as much time as we can out there, but I'm quite happy with my family life and really indulge myself in my music virtually all the time, so I'm kind of a little bit boring, really, when it comes down to...
That's not boring. Family life's not boring. Family life is not boring. I just wondered if you had one of these odd hobbies of collecting jam labels or something like that. But
it's the music side. The family life is the music side that is the thing outside of my family life that I kind of do all the time. It's something. So in that respect, I'm probably a little bit boring that I don't have anything outside that. But I find it's so interesting listening to music and trying to get into people's heads and find out why they've written things. I'm afraid I don't listen to music for pleasure very much anymore. It's like a mental illness that you get when you're...
So you analyse it.
To a point. You're always analysing. You're always listening, going, oh, that bass player's not very good. That. And my son has the same illness now, so I'm quite disappointed that he can't listen to music for enjoyment. I do try, but there's always this thing in your head listening to that hi-hat pattern or something like that. But it is very boring to listen to music. But
I don't think it's boring. I think it's great. I tell you what, you have a passion, and I tell you what, long may that live. Because at the end of the day, that's the thing not to let go. So, as you said, so many people go there to collect their paycheck. They release some single just because it's got their name on it. It sells millions or sells lots of them, and they collect their money. And to be honest with you, it's like it might as well be an ashtray or a coaster.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Dreadful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the paycheck.
No, we all like them, don't we? Let's face it.
It's not foremost in the front of my mind all the time. I've been very fortunate within my career to be. I'm okay, thank you very much. My bills are paid, and and everything's okay on this side. So I suppose I'm very lucky in that respect to be, as a musician, not to be, this is going to sound so up my backside, not to be struggling all the time. I know loads of musicians who are absolutely phenomenal.
Yep.
And they just struggle all the time.
Yep.
They're scrapping for gigs, and I think it's because I don't live in one of the major cities that I haven't got that competition all the time of I've got to get out and work, And I kind of do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Well, that's good.
And I'm totally blessed with that, and I feel very, very fortunate that I'm in a position to be able to do that. But that does come with having a very understanding family and a very understanding network of friends that allow you to do that and be that person. I think it's really important that you have that.
I think that's great. Let's tell everybody where they can see you, the Climax Blues Band. It's George Glover, Roy Adams, Lester Hunt, Neil Simpson, Chris Aldridge and Graham-dee on lead vocals. The Climax Blues Band. You can be seen down at the Harpenden Halls.
Yeah, that's a gig that came in early on this year.
It's Saturday the 30th of July.
30th, that's right.
And it's the Harpenden Blues Rhythm and Rock Festival. You're headlining. On the bill is a lady called Carla Brox. Lawrence Jones is on Husky Tones, Southbound, and it's Saturday the 30th of July. Starts at 2 o'clock, finishes at 10 o'clock, and I guess you're on around about 8 o'clock, I would guess.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
and
we're really looking forward to it. It's just nice that we can go out and play some tracks from the new album
as well
as because the more you play these songs, they just take on a new life of their own. You do the album version, and the album version is the album version. It can't change. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's when you go out and play these songs live that you suddenly start putting all these little things in and go, oh, if only we hadn't recorded it and it was like this. But then I think that's the good thing about it.
So you're going to be playing some of the hits and some of the new stuff you're going to be doing at the show. It's Saturday the 30th of July. Tickets, if you get them early, are £21. You can get them either at the harpendenbluesfestival.co.uk or the harpendenpublichaLls.co.uk, or use the telephone and call 01582 767 525. Well, thank you, Graham. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today.
Cheers, sir.
And I hope the show goes really well. I hope it's a sellout. I'm sure it will be. And good luck with the album. We're looking forward to seeing that when it gets released in 2017.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for today.
Bless you. Thank you very much, Terry. Bless you, mate.
This is Seclo Sounds, and you can listen to us by clicking Listen Live on our homepage at seclosounds.org for a choice of players. Via TuneIn Radio at www.tunein.com, search for Seclo Sounds and listen online or download the TuneIn app. You can download the Seclo Sounds iPhone app from the iTunes App Store, and you can listen to us on demand at our replay page.
That's details of how you can listen to all the great shows here on Seclo Sounds now. But in a few weeks' time, we will be launching in glorious FM. 105.5 is the frequency. The date is in September. We're hoping to launch to the Milton Keynes area. You'll be able to listen to it in your car. So get it dialed into your car now and in your radio at home, on your stereo, whatever you use to listen to the radio. 105.5. I say it'll be around about the middle of September. We're hoping to launch. So I will give you some more details in the months ahead. Anyhow, I did promise you at the very beginning of the show, world exclusive, and it is a world exclusive. No other radio station has got this track from the album Graham mentioned, the album that's coming out in 2017, yet untitled. This is a track he's given me to play here exclusively on the lovely Seclo Sounds. He loved the show, and he said you can have this track. So here it is from the 2017 album from the Climax Blues Band. It's called Ain't That a Kick in the Head.
Out of here.